Hello and welcome to Whistler Gym Sweat. My name's Hannah and I'm the owner of Whistler Creek Athletic Club down here in Creekside. We're a full gym facility and we also have online personal training for those of you who don't live in Whistler. Okay, so today, what workout are we doing, Jack?
Hi guys. So, we all know that it's very important after exercise to make sure that you recover properly. So we're going to take you through a cool down stretch session to make sure that we open up our hips, loosen up those hamstrings and quads after a hard day on the mountain.
Perfect. Okay, let's get going.
Feels good. Hey! Okay, after the mountain, you're going to feel pretty sore, our muscles are tight, and so we need to relax them. See there, I was on a nice forward fold, so why don't you try that with me? We're just going to take a deep breath in, and exhale, roll down all the way, stretching our hamstrings, and just let our head hang. We're taking it easy here because we've already done all the hard work for the day. Loosen your head, give it a small shake. Let your arms go heavy. Okay, rolling up one vertebrae at a time. All the way up the top, hands out wide. Okay, we're going to take through a few different stretches that are going to reopen up the hips after a hard day and our hamstrings and our glutes because they're all going to be stiff and sore tomorrow. Robin's going to help me. She's going to help demonstrate the different stretches and how we can make them a little bit easier if you're very, very tight, like Robin. Okay, we're going to drop down to onto our legs down here, and Robin, you're going to drop down with me too. We're going to have one leg forward and one leg bent. I'm actually going to go sideways on. Robin's going to use two blocks, or which you could use two books to help you if you're a little bit tighter and you find it hard to get into position. Our foot forward, chest up, back straight, hinging forward. We're going to stretch our hamstring and our calf. Going to take a deep breath in and exhale. And we want to hold this for about 30 seconds. If you don't do this, generally the next day, that's when you can get an injury. Tight muscles are the bane of a snowboarding and skier's day. Okay, coming out of position there, swap sides. Bring one leg back, the other leg forward. Straighten up your front foot. If you'd like to keep a slight bend in the knee for safety, that's a good idea too. Hinging forward, foot flexed, keeping a strong neutral spine. And again, another 30 seconds. Breathing deeply, in through the nose and out through the nose. Awesome. We're now going to move on to the hip flexor. So you can actually bring the other foot forward again. And what I'll demonstrate here is we're going to push forward into our hip, stretching out the hip flexor on the side. I want you to lift up again through the pelvis. So we're pushing forward, lengthening through the hip and avoiding any compressing in the lower back. If you feel pinching in your lower back when doing this, you're moving from the wrong place, and just take a little step back. If you want to make the stretch a bit harder, arms above your head and lean to the side. This should feel really good. Gets all the way down our obliques, hip flexors. And another 30 seconds is about a minimum. Okay, coming back up and swapping sides again. Just keeping your arm above your head, you can grab the opposite wrist, kick your hip out to the side, shoulder blades squeeze back, and lean. Deep breath in. Whoop. And breathing out. Try not to fall over. Awesome, and then back to starting. Okay, we're now going to stretch out our quad muscle or thigh. There's a couple of different ways we can do it. If you want to stay in the same position you're in right now, you can reach back, grab the back foot, squeeze it towards your bum, and stay lifted. If this is too hard, we can emulate the same position just on our sides. See, Robin's still got her foot forward, just like I do here, except lying on her side, much easier to keep your balance. Remember when you're doing this, just to try and stay lifted in the front, and so you can really push forward with your hip, and that way we're stretching from the quad, thigh muscle, and we're avoiding any compressing into our lower back. Again, 30 seconds minimum length of time. Okay, and then we can swap sides. If you're wanting to do the harder version, foot forward, hands behind your back, chest lifted, pelvis lifted, pushing forward into our thigh. This should feel like a really good stretch. Breathing deep into the muscle and long breath out. Breathe in and breathe out. We're all about just trying to scale everything down, relax the body, so we don't need to be pushing too hard at all. After this, we're going to want to stretch out our glute. So we've got two different stretches for you to try out. The more advanced version here is our pigeon stretch, where I'm going to bring one foot in front of me, keeping my foot and knee at a right angle, staying lifted, and we drop our hips to the floor. I'll move sideways to show you. Again, avoid any arching in the lower back. If this is too challenging for you, you can try it like Robin, keeping our foot flexed, knee in line with our foot, and pulling the other leg in. And we should really feel it in the glute muscle on the leg which is bent. Minimum of 30 seconds, and then swap sides. Also reaching through and pulling the foot towards your chest. Sometimes you can even put your foot up against a wall. If you're in a hotel room, probably take your shoes off. Or even if you're at home, take your shoes off. Take your shoes off. Okay, and after 30 seconds, another deep breath and relax. Last thing we're really going to focus on, or second last thing I should say, is our adductor muscles. Very important that we get everything loosened up. So we've got two different versions. We can go for our seated adductor stretch, legs nice and wide, and reach forward like we're doing the split. If this is too hard for you, standing up, feet nice and wide, and hinge forward. If you have trouble balancing, you can put your hands on the bed or any other object in the room. Slightly soften the knees, just in case you feel any type of overstretch in the inside of the knees. Excellent. And last 30 seconds, just to finish up this. Okay, there's one last thing that we want to focus on, and that's one of our deep core muscles called the psoas muscle. This muscle normally gets worked out overly, and so it quite often gets tight and sore. So we're not going to do a hard stretch, we're just going to put it into a relaxed position. This is the easiest thing we can do, and it's a nice way to finish up our cool down. So Robin's going to lie down on the floor, and all we are going to do is elevate her feet off the ground and put her hips into a nice tuck position, and you can rest here for a minute or two, and this is the final thing. So Robin, I'm just going to get you to lift your feet up, thank you, and rest them here on these two blocks. You could put them up on a few pillows, side of the bed. We just want to make sure that the pelvis is able to stay in a tucked and relaxed position with no effort. This puts those deep psoas muscles into a relaxed position, and this is it. You then just take a deep breath, exhale, and relax. Easy. Keeping our back flush to the floor, this just allows those deep hip flexor muscles to switch off, which they don't get a lot of chance to do. Okay, rest here for one last minute. Stand up, be ready to go tomorrow. Hope you find this useful, guys. Look forward to seeing you again sometime soon.